All right, all right. Deadman's Tome Podcast. Your hosts, Mr. Deadman, Becky, and SK. How's it going, everybody? You guys there? All right. Good.
Technically.
Good.
You woke up SK again.
Yeah, well. Sorry about
Three
that.
times a week, I got to wake up.
We need you.
Oh,
We need
four.
you.
Right, I got that other show.
I think you bring a
We do?
balance. I think SK brings a balance to the show. You have two grouchy motherfuckers, and then Becky. I think that's the balance.
So three grouchy motherfuckers.
Pretty much.
What?
Yeah. And of course, tonight we have Mike.
Are you calling me a grouchy motherfucker?
I think I did, yeah.
And is that wrong?
SK?
Is that wrong, Becky?
I'm not grouchy.
You know what?
Just because you can put it on your sweet girly voice doesn't mean you're not a grouch.
I'm not a grouch. I'm bitchy. Get it right.
Look at that. Already swinging.
I was trying to be gender neutral with it and inclusive.
You gotta
I'm
be
offended.
inclusive. You gotta be. Okay.
What was that? It's that male toxicity, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what is it. Toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Patriarchy!
Damn it.
Okay. Now it looks like we're dropping frames here. That is so messed up. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I see that.
it's recording though.
I got a spinning wheel.
Yeah. I'm recording, for the podcast, and maybe I'll just upload it on the video, upload on YouTube as well when we're done. Anyway, our guest tonight, Mike Ennenbach.
Yeah.
I'm doing great, man. Doing fantastic.
Jesus, didn't we have this guy on already?
I recognize him,
Yes, but he's back. It's important.
and it made it easier for me to get his name right.
To
Ennenbach.
That's scary all on its own.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for those who, haven't listened to the prior episode, Mike, who are you and what do you do?
Mike Ennenbach. I just put out my very first collection of short stories called Notches on Death's Head Press.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to take over the world.
Great. Well, we're going to help you with
like-
that.
like tomorrow or when does
Well,
that
probably
happen?
not. I just keep putting it off. Like, I'm sitting on the warheads and everything, and it's just like,
Because I got some debts I'd like you to clear up, and I'll be on your side if you can just handle that.
Yeah.
let's do it.
Oh, damn. You have that sort of pool, huh? You have some
Yeah.
major pool of the banks so you can make the debt go away? Man.
I mean, what's the point of taking over the world if you can't do that shit?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. That's the whole thing.
Shit.
Basically, I'm just going to live the college debt on the planet.
Oh, man. Wasn't that the plot of Fight Club? You rid of all the debt, or the credit cards?
About that.
Oh, man. Okay, well, we're going to help you with that. Now, also tonight, we'll talk about Captain Marvel, sensitivity readers, and a whole bunch of crazy news. And then a fan favorite, horrible covers. Okay? Horrible covers, which if you're listening on the podcast, you got to watch it on the YouTube. Or pretty much tonight, we're just pretty much streaming on YouTube to catch the horrible covers. So let's start off with the top with I think we really need to talk about Captain Marvel. Man, Becky, you saw that article I sent you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and SK, I know you wrote an article about Captain Marvel, about the trailer.
I wrote, in December.
Mm-hmm.
So over 2 months ago, I wrote a review on the 405.
That's right.
I'll even copy that motherfucking link into the chat.
Feel free to do so. Let's make that happen. Now, remind me though, in your, did you predict that it would be well, a mediocre serving of forced fed feminism.
What was that? Hello?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm still here. I'm still here. Do you hear me?
You having a hard time hearing you. So,
Can you hear me
You
now?
sound demonic.
Are you serious? Can you hear me now?
hear you now.
Okay. Wow. The demons.
What was your question?
The demons are coming over. They're trying. It's Disney. Disney's trying to shut me down. That's what's going on here. Because we're talking bad about Captain Marvel. We're talking about the reviews of Captain Marvel, and Disney does not want us to do that. So I was saying, did you make any predictions about how the movie was going to be based on the trailer?
Absolutely.
Oh man.
The final thing. Well, part of what I did was to compare Soft Cheese Johnson, or what's her name, Larson,
Yeah.
with Sigourney Weaver
Oh man.
in a head-to-head action heroine showdown cage match. And let me tell you, it was not pretty. Sigourney Weaver just beats the shit out of Brie Larson.
Oh, 100%. 100%. There's no way Brie Larson would win that. There's no way.
No, not a chance.
And I've said this before.
And by the way, they're very comparable as far as their age and their experience before Sigourney did Alien and this Captain Whatever movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot of things in common, except for Sigourney's got, gravitas.
Yeah.
She's got sand. She's got balls. She's got guts. And Brie Larson just doesn't. You don't believe her in the role.
Oh, not at all. She doesn't have a personality.
She's not tough.
I mean, that's what I'm getting at from the reviews is that Brie Larson doesn't really have much of a personality as Cap. I think it's the flaw of the character as well. No presence. Yeah, like Captain Marvel as a character. Apparently, see, I'm not much of a comic guy, but apparently, I didn't know this, but Captain Marvel has been tried and tried again in Marvel Comics, but it's just not a character that really sticks. It's not a character that it's not like any of their other franchises. It doesn't have a legacy of success. If anything, has been rebooted and tried again. So
the only time Captain Marvel ever succeeded was they killed off the original with cancer, and it was this huge story that was actually pretty good. Other than that, no.
Okay, I think I recall. Wasn't the original like Marvel, and it was like a dude who didn't give his power to a chick? Okay. And then there was another comic where I believe Rogue from the X-Men touched Captain Marvel and got all of her powers. So was able to fly and stuff and be pretty much like a combination of Rogue and Captain Marvel.
Wow. That's how Rogue got to Marvel, yeah. Man.
Okay. So are you surprised? Well, I mean, are you all surprised by this? By this reaction? I mean, Metascore so far is looking at 65. And this is before audiences, right? This is like the people who got a review access copy. They got a ticket.
You can tell this just from the trailer from December that this is a weak ass movie with a miscast lead. And I'm not saying she's not talented. I'm saying she's not right for the part.
Yeah,
because she's done a ton of shit, right? She's got a ton of experience.
Sure, I'm not shitting on her acting ability.
But you look at the types of roles that she has been in, and compare that with the roles that Sigourney was in prior to Alien, and they just don't stack up.
Yeah.
I mean, Sigourney did heavy shit. You know, the kind that, you know, and on stage where you've got to go out and spill your guts in front of a live audience 6 nights a week for months on end. And compared to these really, you know, soft serve, fluffy roles that Brie Larson has done by comparison.
No, I don't really remember.
And that does not build the type of character necessary to be a believable force on the screen.
I can see that. And what roles did Sigourney have before Alien? I'm trying to remember.
Well, I mean, she did shit like Streetcar, Gatsby.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's really heavy, serious shit. I can't even remember all of them, but it just keeps going on and on and on. It's just heavy stuff, and not like you know, Brie did a lot of family type of movies.
Yeah, she did. And the article I sent you, Becky, I think even in the opening line it says it. I don't know if you had a chance to read it or look at it, but it's like, do you have it? Do you have access? Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Okay. It's just
what
read a little bit of that.
Because all I heard was...
Yeah, I'm sorry, folks.
Okay.
My connection's kind of cut in and out because Disney. Okay. All right, that's...
Yeah,
Oh, Lord.
yeah. You know they listen to this show.
All right, Becky.
It says, 2 years ago, Wonder Woman proved a female lead superhero could reach the highest levels of the genre, with Gal Gadot proving robust. Huh?
Gadot.
Is it Gadot or Gadot?
It's French.
Whatever.
It's France. Gadot.
See, I hear both.
Yeah.
I thought it was
proving robust and redoable, yet also charming and feminine. I spent Captain Marvel waiting for Gadot, or whatever you said. What I got was Brie Larson, charmless, humorless, a character so without texture that she might as well be made out of aluminum.
Wow. Okay. That's great. But I think that review's from a man, so she doesn't care. Okay. Wow.
Captain Marvel might be the first blockbuster movie whose animating idea is fear. Every page of the script betrays terror of what people might say about the film on social media. Give Carol Danvers a love interest? Eek! No! Women can't be defined by the men in their lives. Make her vulnerable? Oh my God, no! That's crazy. Feminine? What century are you from if you think females should be feminine? Toward the ends of the movie, when a villain preparing for an epic confrontation with Carol, the fighter pilot turned superwoman chides her that she will fail because she can't control her emotions. There is no tension whatsoever.
Wait, a woman can't control her emotions?
What?
Isn't that sexist? Isn't that a little bit misogynistic? A woman can't control her emotions?
Oh, be careful what you say there. You might make the women faint.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. No, more than likely we'll just look at you and tell you to fuck off.
So it's not looking good.
They catch a case of the doctor.
I'm sorry. Well, I didn't catch what you said. And Mike.
I said she's going to catch a case of the Vespers and she's going to have a fainting spell.
Oh, man. That'd be nice.
The vapors. Oh, my.
Oh,
opening weekend is this
Almighty.
weekend, and you know the fan reviews or the moviegoer reviews is going to be is going to be awful. It's going to be horrible. I mean, you're going to have trolls, of course, and then you're going to have people who just don't like it for legit reasons. I've made this.
What the hell is this? Carol looks up an old friend, a fellow feminist fighter pilot named Rambeau.
Rambeau?
Rambeau?
Ramu?
Oh, whatever.
Oh, it's a lesbian friend.
Rambeau.
Ramu?
Eau.
Ramu? Is that a porn name?
Does she have a strap on? I mean,
If it's not, it is now.
Beau. As in beautiful. Beau.
Rambo.
Rambeau.
Rambo.
No.
No, I think it's the name of
No.
French.
Rambeaux. Rambo. It's the
Rambo.
No, it
French.
doesn't have an X after it.
What's the same
It
thing?
doesn't
It's
have
still
an X.
Oh,
Damn
man.
it.
So her lesbian friend is named Rambo.
Rambeau is a single mom with a daughter, but she considers leaving the planet to join Carol's war with the aliens.
Of course.
What the hell?
Oh,
Aren't
well,
we
A
the aliens
feminist
to them?
fighter pilot?
I don't even
Oh,
know. They're
Lord.
fighting aliens? Well, like, why am I interested in that? I mean, what's going on?
Why are they fighting here, for fuck's sake? There's lots of other places.
Yeah. Man.
I think this is the big
well.
setup for the new Marvel films with the Skrull aliens as the bad guys.
Well,
The directors are afraid that suggesting women tend to put their children above all else will get them called out.
Because they do.
and because they should, not because they're women, but because
Yeah.
parents should.
Send
Someone
the
should.
wiring.
You know.
I'm saying, except in, unusual cases, women will do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it says here that at least the soundtrack isn't too bad.
Oh, well, that's what you go to a movie for.
Mm. Mm.
Do you remember Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez? It had like the best soundtrack ever.
I don't remember
No.
watching that.
Judgment Day. Judgment. Wait.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't think I remember that either.
The soundtrack, it's metal bands and hip hop artists and put them together. It had, what was it, Helmet and House of Pain and Slayer and Ice-T.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Whoa.
It was awesome.
Slayer and Ice-T together. Okay, that's interesting.
It was that song, Order, and it was right after the riots in LA, and it was angry and just fierce.
Man. Okay. Damn.
This one has No Doubt, Nirvana, and Hole.
Well.
So what are the good bands?
Well, that's what it says.
Well, you're gonna have the '90s grunge. I mean, okay, all right. Oh man.
You want me to read some of my article?
Sure, SK.
This is all right. So I'm going to read the last little bit. But jumping Jeebus on a pogo stick, I just don't fucking believe her in the role of a hero, super or unleaded. It isn't facial expressions or because she's pretty. She doesn't hold my attention as a character. She ain't got nothing going on behind that face. Brie Larson is a movie star, but she isn't an actor on par with her predecessors in the female action hero roles. She's playing at the role and not being the role, which is fine. She's making bank doing what she's always done. No reason for her to fuck with what's worked. Except she just did. Oopsie. At the end of it all, we will be enthralled with Ripley decades after this dreadful captain has passed into various worst ever lists.
Oh man,
Right.
man, SK, that was pretty good. Going straight for the juggler there.
Well,
SK, he calls it like he sees it.
Yeah.
What, no candy coat? No, that one.
No. See, that's what I'm saying.
Why didn't you just say it sucked?
Well, because it sounds like
It
creative.
would
Yeah,
take
but-
a lot less words.
But yeah, except people want all the words.
Yeah, because isn't that the art of being a critic?
Yeah. You gotta be able to articulate
Oh,
why.
I would not be a good critic then.
Yeah, it sucks.
It just blows.
Yeah, see, that's why I feel like I'm a horrible critic. It's good. It sucks. That's what I say. And so far,
I don't even think she's all that pretty.
She's not. In my opinion, she's not. In my opinion, she's about average.
She's pretty average. Yeah, she's pretty average.
She's average, like in every day in, let's say, Texas. Okay, but in Hollywood, she's even below average. But that's my opinion.
Hey, you know,
in this picture,
those Texas women are. There's a lot of very pretty Texans.
Oh, of course there are.
A lot of them. Hell, even Bukowski wrote about one.
Mm-hmm. Texas girls, man. We got Texas gals. Yeah. Texas gals, you know.
One of my favorite Bukowski poems is called Texan. It's about this young lady with long red hair.
Oh man, that's nice. That's nice. Ooh.
This picture of her in this article makes her look like somebody stuck her in the butt with a hot poker.
Well, she doesn't have much of a butt. And I made jokes about this, but Marvel Studios...
Well, maybe that's why. They put her poker on her butt and burn it off. I don't know. I'm just saying.
You know, Sigourney is not a,
she's not
runway. She's not a beauty in the sense of Hollywood. She's
not classically beautiful.
No, she's handsome. She's statuesque.
Yes.
She's 5'10". She's.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah. And Brie's 5'7". So pretty close.
Wow. I'd have to stand on a chair to say hi. Sorry.
In my contemplation on the subject of, presence, gravitas, sand, balls, guts, whatever you want to call it, I think that has to be earned. I think it comes from being broken and healed and broken and healed. It's a kind of refiner's fire that you have to go through, that you have to get that. Those attributes. You don't just you don't just have it. You have to earn it, and you have to pay a pretty high price.
Yeah, you have to earn your stripes.
Yeah.
My last thing I want to say about Captain Marvel and Brie Larson here, I think this kind of does it well. This kind of puts perspective. Is that DC did it better. The one thing DC has done better than Marvel is actually a female lead. Wonder Woman did not get this. Wonder Woman did not get this reaction. So DC has many faults. They have been releasing a lot of blunders, but they could do a female lead a lot better than Marvel. At least that's what it seems so far. Okay. We could be on this one all night. Do you have any last things you want to say before we move on to sensitivity readers, and then we'll go into notches into the Nacho book. Notches, right, Mike?
Nacho, yeah.
Nachos. Is that with meat?
No, it's with cheese.
Well, actually, there's going to be a special edition. It's Nachos Bel Grande coming next.
Nice.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh dear God in heaven.
And a happy hour special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free margaritas.
That sounds good, man. I'll never leave for that. Damn. Okay, so SK, what do you have to say? What do you have to say about sensitivity readers?
They should get real jobs.
Yeah, that's it. Boom, over.
I mean, what else? What else? I mean, come on, Jesus fucking Christ.
Becky, do you know what a
We live in a
sensitivity reader-
society.
No.
Oh, wait. So Becky doesn't know what a sensitivity reader is. SK, you wanna explain? Since my connection's kind of like hit and miss.
Sensitivity reader is some fucking weenie snowflake who's been through, steeped in our educational indoctrination through public schools and public universities, to have a hyper-developed sense of what offends everybody and everything at every turn, and they are hired by these weenie ass fucking publishing houses to screen out any possible content that could affect somebody sometime, past, present, or future.
Are you serious?
I wish I wasn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's serious.
But it's a real thing. And
Oh, for the love of Christ.
well, he wouldn't make it through the screening process.
Oh yeah, the Bible.
No,
the
no,
Holy
wait.
Bible. The Holy Bible would
Yeah.
be too homophobic. The Holy Bible would be too bloody, too gory. You know how much death? You know how much genocide is in the Holy Bible? Holy shit!
Well, they weren't real kind to their neighbors in the Old Testament either.
No, man. Even to the concubines.
There was no acceptance.
How in the hell are they gonna get anything published then?
It's going to be really shit. It's going to be a bunch of shit. And here's the thing about people who cave to social justice warriors and that kind of thinking in the PC crowd, is that they will dilute their products to the point that nobody will like it, and then they will blame their failures on the ignorance of their customers.
Yep.
Okay.
And once you start
Can
attacking
I
the
say
customers,
something about this?
Oh, Becky, feel free to.
This is about the dumbest ass shit I have ever heard of in my life.
Well, it takes a great deal of education to come up with something this stupid.
It really does.
Since when?
No, I mean there's ordinary stupid, and then there's intellectual stupid.
Mm-hmm.
This is just plain and simple ignorant.
Oh no! These people are our moral superiors because they understand that everything gives
they can
offense
lick my
to everybody.
butt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's blog posts
They
and articles.
probably can't actually.
Well, probably not. It'll probably offend somebody, but I really don't give two shits.
I mean, there's some authors, some publishers that think that, if you offend other people, that's wrong, that you shouldn't offend others. That your feelings, that the feelings of a group, of a community, are more important than your own personal feelings. So, that's...
Somebody somewhere is always going to be offended about something. Where do you draw the line?
Well, you see, back in the olden days, and by which I mean prior to, 10 years ago.
1990?
Yeah. 2000. It used to be the goal of literature to stir up the emotions of the reader and provoke, intense contemplation and thought and challenge their worldview.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are actively preventing that in their products.
So in other words, they just want a bunch of sheep that'll go, okay.
Well, yeah, it's not just that. They're gonna take everything that's interesting out of literature until it's just pablum.
And
by the way, for millennials, pablum is baby cereal.
Okay, now...
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
I think the big problem is I'm all for 100%. I don't care what you are, what you believe. Equality is fine.
Yeah.
But to make the entire world bland and to take all the excitement and spice and taste out of it just so everybody can be content, that in second grade read Huck Finn. And Mark Twain is the greatest American author probably of all time, but now we have to pretend like he didn't exist because the things he said were commonly said during his time. The homogenization of America now is just, it's sickening.
It's sickening, and it doesn't
the
even
ex post
represent.
facto application of current morals to previous ages is ridiculous.
Oh, it totally is.
It's
What morals?
You cannot do that.
Oh man.
What morals?
You know, these ideas we have, you know, oh, we're so virtuous, you know, and we hold the past to our new standards, you know. It's just crazy.
Absolutely.
That's crazy, man.
Again, going back to it with Huck Finn, that was virtuous. Huck Finn was friends with Jim.
Yeah.
He escaped with Jim on the raft. Just because Jim had a certain subjective in front of his name doesn't change the fact of what he did there. He had a white guy go with an escaped slave to escape. That was brilliant. But now we can't talk about that because
that was radical. That was revolutionary.
Exactly. It incited American literature. It made us a force in the world. But now we have to pretend like this didn't exist. And that's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
It's absolutely bullshit. And it's even affecting in schools because now when they teach Mark Twain in schools, at least here in Texas, I know that they filter out the words, certain words, because they're problematic, whatever. It's like, okay. But then you're like censoring language, and it's like, well, I mean, what are you doing there? Because aren't you kind of giving the word more power by making it like this thing you can't say? But then it's like, oh, but if you do say it, it's a bad word.
You know, that's exactly what Lenny Bruce said. He had an entire routine about where you should take. He actually, you know, it's a really great set where he starts calling out these black people the N-word. Hey, you, and they're starting to get mad at him and getting ready to leave. And he goes, "Wait, you don't understand. I'm saying we should use that word more, not less. We should take the power out of it by using it more and make it a worthless word."
And that's one school of thought, and that's one approach, and it's true that a word has power if you give it power. Though some people won't even admit that because it's crazy. So if you admit that, it means wait. So you mean we or I or a society we're giving it power? Well, yeah. It's the same reason why someone can call you a motherfucker or try to provoke you. They try to provoke you, like with their words. And if you let it, then what does it say about you? That you're thin-skinned? I mean, like, what does that say? Sometimes
I'm really curious where this idea originated that we have to eliminate everything that offends everybody. I don't.
You know where it originated?
Please enlighten me.
I believe that where it originated was now we have the internet. Instead of just having communities where you could talk things out, now you can go out there with no face, with no real name, and you can be offended by anything, and somebody's going to jump on and agree with you. Not only are they going to agree with you, but then the other group's going to say, oh, you're an asshole for saying it, and you're going to have conflict over it. And humanity has become, when you take all the wax that's left over from making crayons and you mix it all together so you can make your black crayons, that's what we're doing in school now. Instead of having different colors and different shades, we're just mixing everything together, smoothing it out, and making one bland, meaningless subject. We don't teach in schools anymore. We train to McDonald's. Nobody's going to go for a philosophy anymore because it doesn't mean anything. Man. But you have to have the people around the world.
Yeah, they couldn't even handle philosophy. Can you imagine that? an actual philosophy course, man, people would be freaking out. They couldn't handle that. I mean, instead they go.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Descartes now saying, "I think, therefore I am," and then everybody going, "Well, I don't want to think. That's bullshit." And then suddenly thought's illegal. Or Copernicus trying to say that the Earth isn't the center of the universe, and everybody getting mad at him, and everybody coming out with pitchforks for him. It's bullshit. You can't be radical anymore because radical's not accepted.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. Now, okay, with sensitivity readers,
not only is radical not accepted, any variation from it's a pursuit of ideological purity, which is a tyranny, which is fascism.
It is.
And it doesn't.
You know,
I'm not saying one party or the other. Any pursuit of ideological purity is tyranny.
Yes. I agree with you 1,000%. And I think this also falls into line. I think this all goes back to the fairness doctrine that Reagan got rid of, where it had to be the news reported fact. Suddenly, opinion was fact. So nowadays, anybody with an opinion is spouting a fact, and nobody dares question it because, oh my God, you've offended my sensibilities. No. Sometimes an asshole is just a fucking asshole. It's just what it is.
Then we should bring that back. We should definitely bring that back because we need to start reporting on more facts and less opinions, because all these opinions being floated around on both sides of the aisle everywhere.
Opinion's fine as long as you identify it as opinion. And the problem is that news outlets have allowed news articles, whether in print or over the air, they've embraced the concept of inserting opinion into news stories. It used to be who, what, where, why, when, just the facts, ma'am. Now it's everything's shaded with the writer's opinion.
100%. Walter Cronkite told you exactly what happened in the world, and then it was up to you to form an opinion off of that. And your opinion was valid, but it didn't mean anything. They called it editorials back in the day. Instead of being an editorial, it's reported and everybody repeats it. They repeat it ad nauseum, and then suddenly that's the fact.
Yeah. Now, go back to the sensitivity readers, though. I mean, this is a great topic. Don't get me wrong, but there's one thing I want to ask. Now, is this prevalent in other genres, like even horror? Because I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, they're employed by the big five publishing houses, and even the small presses use them. So they're I don't know about the horror genre would seem to be less susceptible to that concept. In my, it just seems that like that would be a thing.
Yeah.
Or a letting.
I would think so too.
So one of the events that happened recently was a young adult author got criticized on Twitter for, some stupid shit, some racial or cultural insensitivity. And she was so upset by the criticisms that she fucking pulled the book from publication. This was on the eve of publishing, and the hue and cry was so intense that she pulled her book, and she was ruined by it. And the problem with this is that she caved to them. And because she caved to them, it has emboldened them to go after other authors.
It sets a precedent.
Absolutely. It puts blood in the water.
It does. They got a
and
victory.
The sharks start circling.
Yeah, man. You don't cave. Don't cave. Don't be bullied. Don't be bullied. Man. And people were saying Deadman's Tome was ableist because of Psycho Holiday. I wasn't going to be like, oh, okay, I'm just not going to release Psycho Holiday. I'm like, you guys are stupid. And they were like, well, now you're more of an ableist.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
first of all, I think Twitter is the stupidest shit in the world.
Yeah.
I just, honest to God, I don't get it. I mean, I get it. I understand how and why it works, but it's the dumbest thing in the world. I think it's a very negative it's a heavily net negative social impact.
Yeah.
And I think it should really just go away.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for networking
Also,
and sorry?
I think all social media is mostly a negative impact.
Yeah. Me? I said family friendly.
What did you say?
We're doing a family friendly show now.
Oh,
We're friendly to families.
Oh, are we?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, kids.
We're friendly.
Read the damn book.
We're fucking family friendly. We're just not weenie friendly.
Yeah. No, okay.
I'll be honest. I can say 100% sure that there is a beautiful little girl that recommended you buy notches on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, sir, there is.
To see family friendly with that.
Okay.
Her name is Harlequin.
Harley Quinn. Okay. All right.
No.
Yeah, your daughter doesn't count.
It's not his daughter.
All right.
His daughter.
All right. So, Mike, tell us about this collection a little bit more. So, what is the craziest story in this collection?
What do you mean?
Like, what is the one that is really, I guess I'm going to say the most offensive, the most egregious, the most out there?
It's got to be the last two stories. I would say in customer service and interview would be the most egregious offenders. Right, Becky?
I would agree, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens in those stories?
I talked about one of them last time. That was the guy who calls customer service because he has a pocket pussy attached and it will not come off of his penis. And then
oh yeah, that's right.
And then interview is the sequel to the guy goes in for a roundtable interview at the company that had sold the pocket pussy. So it's there's no
not having read this story, it seems counterintuitive that a pocket pussy would be permanently attached or semi-permanently attached.
Mm-hmm.
It seems at cross purposes with the product's intended use.
Oh wait, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Read the story.
Maybe not, SK. See, think about it.
What?
Reading is hard.
Oh, shut up and read the damn story.
What if this pocket pussy thing is like the Go on the mobile? But that's what it's supposed to be, right? So you put it on, and as you're as you're walking around or driving around town or at work or at a business meeting, people think they think nothing of it, right? But in your pants the whole time, there's a device that's pretty much massaging your cock.
Well,
you're right.
Women do that, the equivalent.
Yeah.
The rabbit.
Yep, they walk around.
They'll insert vibrators, internally, and wear them around all day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Some of which are remote control.
Do?
Some women do.
Some women do.
They take pictures.
It's not
and videos,
just women.
So.
When I used to work on machines, and they would have them in the sex shops that used to dot the side of the highways. And I remember I walked in once and I saw something called the triple ripple butt plug.
Oh God!
And I asked the guy,
"What?"
The triple ripple butt plug, it was not necessarily meant for women. He said a lot of truckers would use them, and they would have them in when they were driving down the highway.
Oh my God!
Milking the prostate and everything.
You gotta milk that prostate. Mm-hmm.
You really want to miss a pothole if you're wearing that sucker.
Oh man.
Even changing lanes would probably give you a little rise.
That's fantastic.
Oh man. Man, but those two stories, they sound
I
pretty
learned
wild.
something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
I didn't really need to know that, but okay.
Okay.
If I start seeing a truck swerving, I'll have a better idea what's going on.
Man, see, that's what I enjoy. I enjoy the conversation we get from our guests when we talk about their stories, right? Because look at that. That's insane. But it was great.
Learn something new every show, guaranteed.
Every show.
Whether you want to or not.
Because knowledge is power. That's what I learned. G.I. Joe, right? Knowledge is power. Okay, so those are your most offensive
G.I.
stories.
Joe was famous for that saying.
Okay, tell us about what's your safest story? You got a story in there that's like safe and tame, for the kids.
Probably not for the kids. No, I would say the poem about Persephone is probably the only thing in there that I would recommend anybody under 21 reading.
Right.
Under 21 reading. Okay. What about under? Well, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, and why is that? What's going on with that story?
I have a question. So, Mike, have you thought about how and when you might introduce your writing to your kids? And, what's your thoughts on that?
That's the struggle right now. My daughter's 14 and my son is 9, and they're super excited that I have a book out. And my daughter likes to brag that, oh, yeah, he's published, he's got a book. But I have to remind her, don't have any of your friends at school read it. And then her English teacher said, I'm going to get a copy of it. And I was like, oh, God, I don't know that I'll ever be allowed back at that school again.
Yes, you will, too.
Oh, he might be invited.
Well, I mean...
Get to the butt plug one. There goes the pocket pussy one. Like,
exactly. It'll be Mr. Butt. This is great.
Be like,
God.
we heard about you on this Deadman's Tome podcast, and
you might want to beware of any of the teachers that want a one-on-one with you after they've read your book.
I've been lonely for quite a while. I might entertain the idea.
Oh, there you go.
So
dear.
that's where the pocket pussy story comes from. Being lonely for a while, right?
I will say though, the short fiction is the stranger stuff. I finished a novel, and I think that's definitely more mainstream. I wouldn't mind my kids reading that. The language might be a little salty at times, but the subject I think they would enjoy.
Yeah, tell
cool.
Jesse a little bit about that.
Yeah, is it about wizards?
No.
It's not like Harry Potter.
Is in it, if that counts.
As who in it?
Mm-hmm.
It's more. It's kind of an Indiana Jones adventure type story. I don't know.
I dig that.
Meet Satan.
Yes,
Indiana Jones meeting Satan.
Now that would be.
We haven't seen that story yet. Indiana Jones has, been with, near the Ark of the Covenant, but not with the counterpart.
That's true. And this story is definitely a novel.
That would be like the next thing. You would think that would be like the
right.
They're going to come out with a new Indiana Jones movie. They're working on it, right? So it has to include. It has to involve Satan.
That's so sad.
Harrison Ford has to meet Satan. That's what it is. He has to fight Satan. He has to whip him.
Okay, I'm going to give a hot take. I watched Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull recently.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good. It starts off stupid, but that's a pretty classic Indiana Jones movie, and I liked it.
Okay, and I'll say this.
I liked it until aliens
God,
at the end.
It was so horrible.
Okay,
it was so horrible.
I used to not like
it.
I used to hate it. Right? I used to hate it. But after watching some of the other Indiana Jones movies, especially Temple of Doom, after watching Temple of Doom, and then watching
Temple of Doom, Temple of Doom's not so great.
And then watching Crystal Skull again, I'm like,
park ride.
And people are like, oh, but it has aliens. I'm like, but it's he's hunting like a relic. I mean, it's that's what he does. That's what he does. And yeah, sure. I guess like the origins of the real relic is a hoax. You know, it's all one big hoax. Those like crystal skull things or whatever. Okay, but I mean, that's kind of what he does. He just hunts for stuff, and maybe there's truth behind it. You know, it's like he hunts for like with the Holy Grail. Is the Holy Grail absolutely real? I mean, is it? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I've seen Monty Python. I know it's real.
Oh,
yeah,
for
right.
fuck's sake.
The Ark of the Covenant? I mean, that sounds fucking heavy right there. The Ark of the Covenant? Dude, that is a metal-sounding phrase right there. The Ark of the Covenant. I mean,
That'd be a good name for a rock band.
it would be, man. The Ark of
It'd
the
be a
Covenant.
Christian rock band.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. I guess it would be, too.
Yeah.
The Ark of the Butt Plug.
Oh, fuck me.
Well, that might be a Christian rock band, too. They might play at the Vatican. It's the priests.
I think that we should read a little bit of this new book.
Well, you'll have to do it because I can't read.
Yeah.
I know,
With
and it
the
doesn't
phonics,
have
it'll
any
work for me.
pictures, but I have to ask for Mike's permission first. Mike?
If we have time. I know that we have other things we're supposed to be talking about, so I don't want to.
Yeah. You want Becky to desecrate your words?
Shut up.
Desecrate.
I'm really
Desecrate.
disappointed 'cause I don't think
Desecrate.
the word
Desecrate. We're doing it. Read it.
Yeah, that word is not in
Do a
there that
poem.
I remember. No. Oh, he can read one of those.
That's
I
right.
just want
He
you to
writes
say it.
amazing ones.
That's right.
No.
That's where the whole poem meme came from.
Yeah.
When Mike was on last time, and you're reading one of his poems. Oh,
Yes,
man.
I will
did.
say right now that as
This
a
is-
friend in Australia, and all she wanted to do was hear you say poem again.
Really? Oh my god.
I swear to God, she brought it up like an hour and a half before we started talking. She said, "Oh, Becky will be up there. I can't wait to hear her talk. I love her accent."
Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, well, I will say it just for her then.
Later this year, I'll
Poem.
be publishing the Becky Neron Dictionary.
Oh my
Oh, man,
lord,
that's
have
great.
mercy. It won't sell a copy.
Becky in English.
Also, one coffee in Australia. There you go.
And poem.
Yeah.
Poem.
And Mike's gonna read a poem.
Aeon, and which means crown.
Crayon. Crown. What the hell? It's
We
the other one is that is a bird. It's HAWK. I
Hawk.
can't say that either. Hawk.
Hawk.
That's not it. Hawk.
My dad always said I say it like I was gonna spit a hawker.
Like, how do you say
You,
hawk?
you know, what's interesting, I went to school with a
Hawk.
guy whose last name was Houke, which was pronounced pretty much how
Hawk.
you say hawk.
Hawk.
That's a,
I don't hear any difference.
that's a horrible last name. You can imagine that? Just shouting that last name out loud as you can. Yeah.
No.
Mr.
No.
Hawk? Mr. Hawk?
Hawk.
All right, so you're reading something, Becky? Come on, focus.
Well, if Mike says it's okay, I will.
Hawk's going on the list.
I think Mike gave you the blessing.
Yeah,
Mike.
what are you going to do? The prologue?
I'm gonna read. Yeah, I'm gonna read part of the prologue.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Prologue: The Demon Stone, somewhere in the Iranian desert. Are you in or not, gambler? Make a choice. Forfeit the pot. The strained voice across the table drifted listlessly in the tent. The flap fluttered slightly, and a cold wind raced down his back. The gambler sat and stared at his hand. He had no idea what was meant on the lacquered cards. He should have paid more attention. The incense was giving him a headache. He flipped a coin in his head. Heads. He smiled and pushed an array of gems and vials into the center of the table. The entire tent froze. He gave a look around and wished he hadn't. Everyone of whom was 9 foot tall with bright red skin. Their eyes were all black and wide in what he assumed was shock. Mouths hung open, and each had 4 rows of what seemed to be razor-sharp fangs. Sharks. They looked like red sharks that had somehow evolved into semi-human form. The haze of incense was too damn strong, and the air felt thick. The red face across the table gave up any pretense of trying to remain neutral and broke into what he could only assume was a smile. He stopped himself from giving a cartoonish gulp of worry as he tried counting the teeth in that too wide mouth. What did Scram call these things again? Hanbis? Hannibals? Hannabi? Some sort of Mesopotamian spawn of evil or something or the other. Not the first ancient evil he had ever played poker, or whatever this game was called. Soul something. If he was honest with himself, which he rarely was, this wouldn't be the last either. Very good, gambler. Very good. He has spirit, the demons cheered as the faint voice gave a semblance of a shout. Too bad that spirit shall be ours. Another cheer echoed the room. It drowned out the gulp that escaped his throat. The demon pushed his pile into the center as well. He put on his casual bravado and leaned back into the worn wicker chair and had to quickly grab the table as the damn thing nearly toppled back. Smooth. Real smooth, he mentally shouted. Not so fast there, my friend. The deal, if you recall, was my soul if I lose. But if I win, I get the sacred stone. And I ain't lost yet. The eyes around him grew into slits at this, and he wondered if maybe he overplayed his hand. The red shark monster demon thing smiled and set down his cards. The room fell silent for a second, and then cheering erupted. He craned his neck and saw 3 matching snakes turning into bird wolves. They were accompanied by 4 stars of different shapes. He looked at his cards again. None of them matched except for what looked like gradually larger bloodstains. The coin flipped in his head again and once more showed heads. He sucked in a lungful of putrid perfume incense and laid his cards down with more confidence than he felt. No one moved for what felt damn close to an eternity. 15 sets of pure black eyes just stared unblinking at his cards.
Whoa.
Then horrifying screams came out in a symphony of the tortured to fill the room. The candles flickered as they roared. It was terrifying, and he began to wonder if they would just rip him apart here in this goatskin tent in the middle of the desert in Iran. But the look from across the table was even more horrifying than the screams. It was cold and blank, as if calculating how long it would take him to reach across the table and tear the spine from this conceited little human trash. They just stared at each other for a long minute. The gambler's eyes noticed the 7-fingered hand on the table slowly flexing, and the small splintering of hissing liquid into the wood as the tips of what appeared to be very sharp claws peeked out of the tips. The gambler gave a part look around and saw 6 of the 14 watching demons had positioned themselves between him and the tent flap. He was 115% screwed, and everyone knew it.
Wow.
I'm not reading any more to you.
Wow, that's awesome.
If you want to know what happened, you have to get the book when it comes out.
Okay.
115%?
Yeah.
He's
100.
Because that's a pretty exact number.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very
He's a
cool.
gambler. He's good with numbers.
Yeah, man. You took okay. So it's the whole cliche thing of like, gambling with the devil or the demon, the demons. You took that, but you made it fresh. Like I wasn't in it, And this whole time, like, how did he get here? Like, I want to know more. Like, and that's just a prologue. I was like, now, I want to know more about this. I want to know more about that. I like the way you described the demons. You described it like how the gambler would see it. He doesn't know he's guessing it's a demon shark thing. You know, he's making sense of it the best he can. Yeah.
I just like it when I read it because you could see all of this in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could.
You can see in my head?
Not in your head, dork.
It's just a bunch of dancing butt plugs.
SK, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I am going to Texas. I'm telling you, I'm going to hurt him.
I'm not in Texas.
Yeah. He doesn't live here.
Who doesn't?
SK.
Me.
SK doesn't live in Texas.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Mike.
Oh, Mike. Mike doesn't need any help. He's doing great. Did you just read that prologue? Man, he's doing great. Okay. That was great, man. So, Notches has just released, right? It was last Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What has the reception been?
So far, I've been completely humbled and amazed. Everybody who's read it's come back and said that they loved it.
That's good.
That's terrific.
That's good.
Doesn't that feel good?
It feels really weird because, you know, you think up these strange little tales and you put them down and you think maybe nobody will ever read them. And then suddenly people are coming back and they're telling you their favorite parts. And I've had friends that every time they finish a story, they give me their thoughts on it. And it's just crazy to connect that way.
Mm. Now,
yeah, that's cool.
Do any of them give you any sort of like constructive feedback or criticisms? Be like, oh, do they try to like backseat write your story that's already written? Do they try to, you know, I guess try to be a sensitivity reader in another way, you know, backseat write?
We need more butt plug.
Honestly, what surprised me is I expected certain turns that stories took would rub them the wrong way, certain things that maybe I wasn't super happy with, they wouldn't like, but if anything, I've been asked to write sequels to some of the stories because they want more of it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's always a good sign.
Mm.
Yeah, that made me very happy.
Man, that's great, though.
I can see that. There's
That's
a few
great.
of them I'd like to see you expand, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what's the plan after this? You got something else in the works?
That book
There's
that
a ton
Becky's
of
talking
everything.
about, I've probably
so
got another. I think I have maybe 10 more short stories already, and I've got over 1,000 poems. I'd love to put a book of poems out in another collection
Jesus.
for sure.
Oh, man.
Ease up on the poems,
This-
dude. Jesus.
No, shut up. Shut up, SK. This guy writes point.
I kind of agreed
poems.
with you for a long time, but after reading when Bukowski was in New Orleans and he was staying at that rickety hotel with the two drunks, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about at all.
The drunk whores?
Well, there were a bunch of those. But when he was down there in New Orleans broke, staying there and just drinking cheap beer all the time, he'd write 5-6 poems a day. And I figure, hell with it, if he could do it. He started off late, I've started off late, I've got time to catch up with.
Now, are you drinking like he did? Are you living his lifestyle?
Unfortunately, no, not at the moment. But I lived that life for a long time, so I can go back to it and grab it. I was very hunter-esque all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I got to say, one of the things, I came to Bukowski late, just a couple of years ago. I was killing some time in a Barnes & Noble, and I saw one of his books on an end cap, and I was thumbing through it, and saw that he was writing poems about hookers.
Yeah. Gotta keep it classy.
And unapologetically, and it was clear, and so I, obviously I bought the book, and not because he was writing about hookers, but because he was writing unapologetically about his experiences, and some of them were hookers.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I agree. How many poems did you write about going to the horse track? Or working at the post office. I mean, he wrote about real things. He didn't describe a flower 97 different ways. He described what he was living. He gave it. He didn't care if it was ugly. He showed me that poetry doesn't have to be pretty. It can be just as ugly and visceral as life is, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, and he was a total fuck up, and he was like, yeah, this is just who I am.
That's right, man.
Exactly. But then, he was happily married for how long, and he had a really good life outside of it, but he was still Hank when he wrote those poems, and I'll be damned if I don't love him for it.
I gotta say, I think the most beautiful poem he ever wrote was about his ex-wife.
After she died?
I don't know if I think she was still alive at the time. I gotta dig up my copy. But it was just astonishing because you don't really realize that when you start off reading it that she was alive, and it's just how you get a sense of a little bit of regret and a lot of admiration for her.
Man.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't like poetry much because I don't like the tropes of it. But then you read somebody like Bukowski or just those guys from the 60s, Ginsberg and Brodigan, and there's just so many brilliant writers out there. Even Neruda, he wrote all these poems about love, but he was sexist and he was a horrible person, and that came through in the writing, and that authenticity is what gets me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't really typically like love poems. At least other people's.
I mean, they're real cheesy, It's like,
I will write them for somebody specific, but that's a kind of a private thing.
Yeah. Are you gonna write Jesse one?
Are you?
How do you know I haven't?
Oh, I have received a strange email.
Have you?
I received an
As
email.
along and we've agreed tonight. I'm expecting one.
Oh man. Oh shit.
I don't have enough whiskey for that.
I love Mike. He's great.
He is. Man. Okay.
Mike's a keeper.
Oh, he definitely is. He's great. I like having him on. Okay. We don't have a whole bunch of time. Or maybe we do. So we got some news things we need to talk about real fast. I think, Becky.
We do?
Yeah, you want to start
there? Can we make him read a poem first?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Let's do that.
Oh, thank you for saying it for Mike's Australian friend.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
She is going to be happy. I'm sure she just squeaked just then.
Poem. Read me a poem.
It's a cartoon sound of a spring bouncing.
No, that's boing.
It's a little
boing.
One. It's a little spring.
Boing.
Poing.
Boing.
What are we doing? Are we doing news or are we doing a poem first?
We're doing a poem.
You're gonna read a poem.
Doing a poem.
Is it okay if I do poem?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Are you guys okay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I leave footprints burnt in the ground behind me. My eyes are slitted like a goat. I'll take your heart, then I'll take your soul. Leave nothing but brimstone when I go. Your every wish is my desire your every dream. Take my hand, love, don't be worried. I'll show you pleasures you've never seen. As you lie there, limbs gently trembling, begging me not to go. Life is temporary, my sweetest berry. We'll have eternity, after all. You call me, I'll be waiting, in the shadows of your love. Say my name, you know it, don't you? As I run my fingers down across your throat.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, twisty turny.
Yeah. I like that.
I think we'll be talking about Mike on one of these episodes of Real Monsters before long.
No, we won't.
Oh my God! I want to be on the same episode as Ed Gein or the Vampire of Dusseldorf.
No, he's talking about you're going to be the subject.
Oh yeah.
We did Ed Gein.
Oh.
But you mentioned someone else.
Have you done the Vampire?
The vampire what?
No, we have not. We did Ed Gein a couple of weeks ago. It was a good show.
Yeah, the Ed Gein one was great. That's so informative, man.
Did you talk about Skin Mask?
Wait a minute. What? You cut out.
Slayer has a dead skin mask, and it's about Ed Gein.
Good song too. That's a great song.
Oh, I don't think we mentioned that. No.
Oh.
Huh.
Another great song is "Skeletons of Society." That's a good song, man. Anyway,
Come on, that entire Seasons in the Abyss is their best album ever.
We did cover a lot of the media, a lot of the what should I say?
influences.
The media influences of Ed Gein, but we did not cover that any of the music. It was mostly film and books.
SK doesn't like music. No, but
What?
Slayer's awesome. Slayer.
Who said I don't like
He's
music?
kidding.
I'm just messing with you. You know I'm
He's kidding.
messing. Okay.
Just because I'm stupid.
Okay.
Oh my God, you made me snort.
All right. Snort what? You snorting over there? Snorting some powder?
Oh my
Snorting.
Snorting. Okay. Now, do we have any other readings? You want to do any other readings?
Oh,
Hello?
I think there you are. Occasionally.
Hey, do you guys want to do any other readings, or y'all want to move on to news, or what's going on?
We got to talk about Alex Trebek, right?
Yeah, we got to talk about Alex. We definitely have to do him. We have to feature him. So let's talk about Alex Trebek.
The answer is, what is a shitty way to go?
And the question is, how did Bill Hicks, Steve Jobs, and now Alex Trebek?
Yeah.
Man. Is Becky still here?
Pretty quiet on her end.
It is.
It did get quiet.
Yeah, like the
I'm not
static
hearing any snorts.
or the static sound that is usually in her background. It's real quiet. Like, okay.
Like too quiet.
Yeah.
She snorted herself unconscious.
What happened to her? Oh, she's gone. She's gone. Let me see if I can bring her back.
Oh, I'm right here.
Okay, there you go.
Oh,
Okay.
we're so glad.
So
shut up,
what's
you
happening
lying
with
thing.
Alex? What's happening? He's
Okay.
has
Spider.
cancer? What?
No!
No?
No!
Alex Trebek
You want me
got
to do a
cancer
tap
from
dance on your
spiders.
head?
He got cancer from
No,
spiders.
he did not.
Yeah.
No. He's lying.
He has spiders in his pancreas.
Yeah, pancreatic cancer. That's caused by spiders. Spiders will go to
Yeah,
you.
everybody knows that.
They touch you,
Shut
and you get it.
up.
If a spider touches you,
No.
you get it.
Oh
They get in through your ear canal.
my God.
They lay eggs.
When you're asleep.
No. Spider equals naked, screaming, on fire, beating the hell out of myself. No.
Yeah,
they want
that's why
you-
we're saying all this.
They want you to do that. Any orifice the spider's gonna enter. Okay, so if you're naked, you're just
No.
naked. Okay.
No.
Yeah,
So
especially if it's
That's why always use butt plugs to keep the spiders out.
Nice. Let me go ahead and take the shot of American Honey for Alex Trebek. And
So that's what a ball gag's for.
I thought that was when you knew when to stop.
Oh, ba-dum bum.
It's sad, man. It really puts things in perspective, though, right?
So how old is it? How old is he? He's got to be up there, right?
Like 50 something?
He's got to be in the 70s by now.
How old is he?
God, I hope he's more than
78
that.
years old. 78 years old.
78? Okay. 78.
I wish I could say that felt really old to me.
Man. Oh, man. That dude has a legacy right there. Man, Jeopardy, man. Come on.
2 kids, too.
Yeah.
They aren't near as old as I thought they would be either.
You know,
He,
would
he
y'all
has a...
how many kids does he have? And they have grandkids, too,
He has 2. He has a 29 son and a 26-year-old daughter.
Wow.
Man.
Way to go, Alex.
Yeah. And but
I
they
was
probably have
in a-
families, too. You know, the little ones run around. Man.
Probably.
I was in a class taught by Tom Skerritt a few years ago, and he was at least like 70 at the time, and he had a baby.
Oh, damn.
How about that hurt?
Well, yeah, it probably did. It's something you really need to do when you're younger.
Wait a minute, Tom Skerritt from Alien?
What was that?
Tom Skerritt from Alien?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
No, when you say he had a baby, like it came out from him? Or...
Yeah, he had a... Yeah, like Alien.
Yes.
He
He's gonna
recreated...
call you. He's gonna tell you. He's gonna tell you to shut up again.
Just burst right through him.
By the way, in person, Tom is exactly as nice as you think he would be. He really is. He's just every bit as pleasant as you imagine. Like he plays in all his characters. They're all the same, right?
Yeah.
He's just that nice of a guy. Very generous.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Although,
Okay,
if
you want the next news?
what's that?
You ready for the next news thing?
Yeah. I already
Fine,
took a shot.
whatever.
I feel kind of depressed. And I want to ask you guys, should we
I was
do
gonna tell a Tom Skerritt anecdote, but go ahead. Let's have the news.
Oh, you tell us.
Let me ask you, do you think we should do like maybe in tribute to Alex, maybe, I don't know, like a horror Jeopardy, or is that kind of cringy? Is that kind of cringy? Like,
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
That would be cool.
maybe we can like raise money for charity for like, or for cancer treatment or something. I don't know.
There you go.
That'd be
Pancreatic-
cool.
You know, for
Cancer.
cancer, that'd be great.
That's a great idea.
Michael
How
would
did
be
you
glad to help us.
Your wife told you that idea, right?
American Honey told me this idea. Wild turkey. It's you know, I think Alex Trebek is channeling through me, through the American Honey. So I think
Have you announced the new call for submissions for the new anthology?
the Momo anthology. Yeah,
Oh, damn it!
the Momo anthology.
The one
I'm
you were
doing it.
talking about.
Oh, what?
No, you're not.
The Mr. Deadman told me to do it. Oh, Mr. Deadman made me do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna do that. Think about that.
I think you should.
A bunch of stories.
Or you could do it, Mr. Deadman or SK made me do it.
I can't make shit. I can't even make a dog sit.
Yeah. Let me first try to brand Mr. Deadman out there. Let me do that one first, and then I'll worry about SK. It's me first, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know,
Nobody thinks about me. No.
Me.
You know, I'm wondering, has anybody seen SK and Momo in the same room?
No.
No. I know. I've never seen SK's mom. Is Momo SK's mom?
No, we think SK is Ted Bundy.
I thought that was Ted Cruz.
Oh,
No,
well,
no.
I thought Ted Cruz
SK.
was.
Oh, that's
Because-
Zodiac Killer.
SK has been a lot of the same places at the same time that Ted Bundy was.
And also the Green River Killer.
Yeah.
Hey.
So he's one
Wait
of
a
the
second.
other.
The Green
We're
River
not sure
Killer
that-
killed a lot of college kids. SK doesn't really like college kids.
No. Well, I used to, you know, when I was that age.
He used to like them a lot.
I mean, every man likes 20-something girls.
yeah. Okay.
It's not something you ever get over.
This is why I'm single.
Well,
'Cause
you're
I'm not
20-something once. I mean,
I'm saying
What?
not just 20-something. Let me explain something to you, Becky, about men and the women we find attractive. All that happens as we get older is that the age range that we find attractive grows. It doesn't move with us. It just gets wider.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
So-
well, then that's not why I'm single. I don't know why it is then.
I don't know, Becky.
'cause you
Can't
say
Oh, I know,
point.
because I'm
It's 'cause you
stubborn
say
in the face of the
point.
butt.
Yeah, maybe
Because I say
palm.
point. Okay, there you go.
Apparently, you need to go to Australia where they'll really think that's cool.
Yeah, maybe.
Hell
right,
no,
so-
they have spiders as big as dinner plates there.
Well, just,
They-
Fucking terrible.
Listen, everything in Australia wants to kill you.
yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not going.
We just go with the flow. It's part of it, you know.
Just don't leave the
No.
city.
No.
That doesn't save you.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to kill me, is what it is.
Oh,
All
you've
right,
got
let's-
enough spiders, you'll probably go.
Oh, God.
God, I can't wait to go to Australia. I can't wait. I think it's awesome.
I've always wanted to go until I found out they had spiders as big as dinner plates.
I would like to go
Well,
too.
they're not.
I think
Yeah.
we would all like to go. Maybe if we could raise money, we could do like we go to
Deadman
Australia.
Road-
Deadman's
So
Tome
say
road
we're
trip.
raising money for pancreatic cancer, and we'll use it to go to Australia instead.
Oh, my God. Then we'll all go to jail.
Well,
Later.
Oh, that,
That's
may-
later. That's
you go-
after the fact.
yeah. Life is short. You,
you
gotta
start
enjoy
off the Deadman.
Yeah, life is short. You just have to enjoy it.
Oh,
Okay,
I don't
just
wanna
do
go to
it. Just do
jail.
what R. Kelly's doing. Just enjoy life. Sorry, I can't finish that. And do what R. Kelly's doing. Jesus Christ,
my God.
that motherfucker's back in jail.
Anybody
Again.
just do what R. Kelly's doing.
Yeah. Use him as your role model, and everything will be great.
Good job, Jesse. Dork.
Said nobody ever.
All right. What else? What else we got today? In the news.
Okay. Thousands signed petition to save dog that chewed off a child's hand.
Good. Because that child
What?
deserved it.
Probably.
Well,
How old was the child?
the unnamed boy was attacked after sticking his hand covered in a sock through the neighbor's fence, and
Well,
husky
yes.
named a husky named Bear sunk his teeth into it, thinking it was a toy. Bear
Yes.
tore the child's hand off and ate it.
That's how old?
Yeah, I totally defend the dog in this scenario. Absolutely, 100%.
Whoa. Wait, how old was this kid?
Four?
It doesn't
He's 4 years old.
say.
I think, am I just imagining that?
Because
I don't know. This article does not say.
Because I have some
Has to be-
questions. because the husky just bit the hand and just ripped it right off, like bone and
It would
everything.
be if you. So if you imagine that the dog's teeth went right on the wrist joint, they could just go right through that on a child pretty easily.
Yeah, it's soft, man.
Without severing any bone. I'm talking like goddamn Becky now. Boing.
It's infectious.
Have I had too much to drink or not enough?
Probably not enough. Not enough. The answer is always not enough. Hey, but yeah, I'm totally with the dogs on this too, because that kid, he stuck his hand through the fence. What were you doing? Don't do that. But I know it's the little kid.
With a sock over it.
Yeah. I know it's horrible that a little kid lost his little hand, and I don't condone. I'm not.
Well, the dog didn't know it was a hand, right?
The
dog didn't know it was a hand.
The dog's doing what dog does in his yard. The little kid if the little kid was like shooting the dog with a BB gun, everyone would be like, "Oh, this little kid's a little monster, little hellraiser." But no, this little kid's trying to provoke this dog by patting him with a sock hand.
Right.
Come on. He was teasing the dog. And he got his hand bit off. Now,
by the way, I think this should happen to all sock puppets.
yeah, right. Yeah. But now this kid's gonna.
I think that's how John died.
Huh. Probably. That explains it. That explains that.
There you go.
But now this kid's gonna have a hook hand. He's gonna have a hook hand. He'll be like Captain Hook. He'd be a pirate. He's one step away.
Maybe he can be in the next Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Well, he's a boy. Is it a boy or a girl?
Well, he could be an antagonist.
Oh, wait, is he a white boy or?
Okay, so here's what you can tell. You can decipher. Remember we were talking about idiot fucking journalists earlier?
Yeah.
Here's how you can tell this was a white male boy. Well, obviously, I'm redundant. Because it did not specify anything else.
You're right. Because it would if it was. Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense. Huh. Look at that. So, yeah, it would be the villain. Son of a bitch. It'd probably be the arch nemesis, man. It'd probably represent, like, the patriarchy at its youth, Be like, you demon kid with the hook hand. Yeah, I don't know.
Wonder if the dog's going to think he's going to turn into a werewolf like that other kid.
I don't know. What's the next story, Becky?
Oh, this one's sad. Neighbor arrested after 11-year-old girl found dead in woods.
Kill him.
A Georgia man whose home neighbored the residence where an 11-year-old girl went missing was arrested in her murder. He was 33 years old, faces capital murder charges after the girl was discovered 200 yards behind his home Saturday. The 11-year-old was last seen around 6 p.m. Friday at her aunt's home, which is next door to where the girl lived. Her family went to pick up dinner from a Chinese restaurant, but when they returned, she was gone. They reported her missing, and authorities launched an overnight search, which ended around 6:30 a.m. when cadaver dogs found her dead behind the suspect's home. A preliminary investigation suggests the young girl died from strangulation. They won't release any more details until they investigate the murder.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that they won't release any more details. Sometimes it's like I kind of feel like they release too much. Sometimes, like, why? Like, do you really want the public? You really want the public to be like, oh, they should do this or they should do that? Maybe just let it be investigated.
Well, it's again, it's the journalists trying to sell their product, and the more sensational they can make it, the more they will sell. They will sell more advertisement. They'll sell more. They still print newspapers, right?
Right.
Yeah, but
So
that's on life support. That's overdue to be cut off. It's so crazy how fragile it is right now. Even journalists have been laid off.
They're fucking animals. So many of them,
and they try to get information from law enforcement about certain cases, and really like
they don't give a shit about the case.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit about the families. They don't give a shit if they compromise the investigation. They just want to sell ads.
That's what it is, man. It's ads. And I'm just thinking these officers, like, they don't have to give information. They could just say, no, like, we're not releasing it right now. We're not releasing. We're not talking about it. We're doing an investigation. Just leave it at that.
They'll find somebody. They'll find somebody they can weasel some information out of.
Yeah, they will. People can be manipulated. But you got to be strong-willed, man. You got to.
Journalists are fucking animals, man.
They'll friend you. They'll make you feel like you're friends. The next thing you know, you slip up and you tell them something. Be like, oh, that was off the record, right? Nothing's off the record. Okay. Man,
it's interesting. It's interesting, but by the way, this is a horrific crime.
It is,
and I cannot imagine. Anybody who's a father of a daughter has imagined something like this happening and what they might do about it. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah. Taking justice in your own hands.
You don't want to go through it.
Yeah. And I mean, right now he's been arrested. He's charged. And it looks like,
yes,
it looks like it points to that he did it. We don't have all the evidence, but it looks like, the body's in his backyard or behind, I guess, a pasture field behind his backyard or something. Okay. How did he get there?
Yeah. I hope they have more. Hopefully they have more evidence than the location, because that's pretty weak sauce.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
anyone can dump a body. And damn, shit. Can you imagine that? If someone found a body behind your house and they're like, oh, well, your house is close to it, so now you're going to be arrested. What?
Yeah.
Man.
Has anybody imagined being in a police interrogation and how they would respond to that?
No.
I've been cross-examined, but I honestly, it's situational because yeah, I really can't say that I would be prepared. Really, it's
yeah. Here, you only need to know one answer when the police talk to you in a room. Lawyer.
Yeah, don't talk to them.
Do not.
The problem is the minute you say lawyer, though, they assume you're guilty, because why else would you need a lawyer?
Doesn't matter.
They will tell you that.
You don't care. You don't give a fuck what they think. You don't give a fuck what they think, because they're not your friends and they're not trying to help you. They're trying to get somebody arrested. Mm-hmm. Somebody. Anybody. They don't give a shit who did it. They care about who they can get arrested and convicted.
It feels like everything's gotten so twisted now. Now the burden of proving your innocence is what it is. It's not guilty until, or innocent until guilty. It's the opposite now.
In a lot of ways, you're right, which is why you need to say the one word, the secret code, lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can get that information. You get the same advice from any attorney. They'll tell you, don't talk to the police, talk to us instead. Attorneys aren't cheap, but in this situation, you definitely need one. You definitely
cheaper than prison.
Yep.
And the thing is that the police are adept at interrogation techniques designed to get you to confess whether you did it or not.
Yeah, man.
I mean, look at OJ.
Oh, sorry, you were saying?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, poor OJ. Everybody thought he was guilty.
Well, I don't know.
Well, so here's the thing. Most people, I actually watched almost the entire trial. I happened to be in a situation of working from home at the time and got to watch almost all of it. And I said at the time, and I still contend that I don't know if he did it or not, but that the prosecution failed to convince me.
And that was exactly what it was. That was the prosecution dropped the ball on that. That should have been a home run. And but it was the journalist. They cared more about what her haircut was when she came to court than what case she put out there.
I didn't watch any of that kind of nonsense. I was really watching the live proceedings, and they did not convince me that he did it. They really did drop the ball in a lot of cases. The glove thing was atrocious. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
My God, right?
Ridiculous.
Did you watch that American Tome story?
Yes. Very well done.
Okay. I thought that was brilliant, and it just showed how incompetent the defense or the prosecution.
Yeah, absolutely. If I had been on that jury watching what I had seen, I would have voted the same way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I can see that. I probably would too.
And, the thing, the police there's this fantastic TED Talk, and I wish I could find it again, where the presenter talks about how there are two types of mentalities where there's this, and she uses a military analogy. One is the scouts, the scouts for the military who are out looking for information about the enemy. And the other are the soldiers, and their job is to go out and obey orders and get the job done. And when you think about this in terms of police, too often the police are the soldiers. They have an objective, and that is get an arrest, get a conviction. They don't have a scout mentality of who is the right person to arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Their objective is arrest somebody, get a conviction.
Yeah, that's true. And they're driven by that because time as well. Because they're constantly working out their cases. They have other cases that they have to work.
Right.
And the cases
they're
pile up.
driven by numbers. They're graded by their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Their promotions, their advancement, their career is driven by numbers. Numbers of arrest, numbers of convictions.
I mean,
they don't give. None of it matters if they, right. Nobody cares about that.
I mean, in that number-driven thing, I mean that applies a lot of pressure. And it's the reason why law enforcement and detectives will cut corners at times. I'm not saying that they all do, but we'll cut corners at times to solve a case, get someone convicted, or get someone arrested and charged.
Absolutely.
So they can move on.
I mean, it's the incentive is to,
job.
I mean, everybody is motivated by what they're measured against.
Yeah.
So, if you want to change the judicial system from the ground up, you have to change the incentives of the police.
I think that would help. That would definitely would.
I don't know how you would do that. By the way, I just know that the current system is fucked up, and this is we're seeing more and more old convictions being overturned by DNA evidence.
Yeah,
because people didn't fucking care.
Yeah, they got lazy.
They just needed numbers.
They got lazy, or they wanted to work fast, and they wanted to get pad their numbers. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, hey Becky.
That could be a whole show on itself.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we are kind of over on time. Okay, I don't think we're going to really have a whole enough time to really enjoy horrible covers like we would. Okay.
Nah.
It's a very fun segment. It's a very fun segment. I think we could do that for Friday. Friday horrible covers. We can have like a horrible covers special. We can have more because we have some that were loaded for tonight that we didn't get to show. And if I would even ask if Mike wants to hop on with our other guests to be a part of that, or if he wants to be in the chat and do that as well. And that's up to you, Mike. It's this Friday.
I will for sure do the chat. If I've got a chance, I'll have my kids. But if I've got a chance, I'd love to get on because those covers are wonderful.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta don't reveal them. Shh, don't reveal them. Because
don't show them to your kids.
No, definitely.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Please don't.
All right. This has been a very fun show. I mean, it is the second time Mike has been on. Okay. And I'm convinced now he's pretty much welcome back anytime. Okay. He can be a regular.
Yeah. Careful how you throw that around. That's how you ended up with me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
shit.
You're definitely a mainstay. Okay.
Yeah, but turning into Becky, remember?
Okay.
I'm a cautionary tale.
He's gonna replace me with you.
No. We gotta have Becky.
No, we can't replace Becky.
Yeah.
God.
Otherwise, it'd just be a bunch.
Nobody
of dudes.
else talks like you do.
Be a bunch of
Or
dudes.
snores.
Come on. Can you imagine how pissed the ladies would get if we got rid of Becky? Oh man. Okay.
I think the guys might be pissed too.
Maybe. All right. So I know there's
Wasn't
been
it Spark that said he wasn't coming unless I snorted.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, ladies, gentlemen, if you made it this far, press that thumbs up button, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening.
And
Y'all take it easy.
congratulations for sticking it out.
Yes.